Video 8.2 Pricing Details of Key AWS Services. In this video, we will cover the following topics: pricing details of EC2, pricing details of S3, pricing details of EBS, pricing details of RDS, pricing details of CloudFront. There are three fundamental characteristics you pay for with AWS. They are compute, data transfer out, and storage. And there is no charge for inbound data transfer. The outbound data transfer is associated with Amazon EC2, Amazon S3, Amazon RDS, Amazon DynamoDB, Amazon SQS, Amazon SNS, and Amazon VPC. Pricing details of EC2. The simple web service interface of Amazon EC2 allows you to obtain and configure capacity with minimal friction with complete control of your computing resources. There are four ways to pay for Amazon EC2 instances: on-demand instances, reserved instances, spot instances, and dedicated hosts. On-demand instances. With on-demand instances, you pay for compute capacity per hour or per second, depending on which instances you run. No longer-term commitments or upfront payments are needed. You can increase or decrease your compute capacity to meet the demands of your application and only pay the specified hourly rates for the instance you use. On-demand instances are recommended for users who prefer the low cost and flexibility of Amazon EC2 without upfront payment or long-term commitments. Applications with short-term, spiky, or unpredictable workloads that cannot be interrupted. Applications being developed or tested on Amazon EC2 for the first time. Spot instances. Amazon EC2 spot instances allow you to request spare Amazon EC2 computing capacity for up to 90% of the on-demand price. Spot instances are recommended for applications that have flexible start and end times, applications that are only feasible at very low compute prices, users with urgent computing needs for a lot of additional capacity. The spot price is set by Amazon EC2 and fluctuates periodically depending on the supply of and demand for spot instance capacity. If your maximum bid exceeds the current spot price, your bid request is fulfilled and your instances will run until either you choose to terminate them or the spot price exceeds your maximum bid, whichever comes first. Reserved instances. Amazon EC2 reserved instances provide you with a significant discount up to 75% compared to on-demand instance pricing. In addition, when reserved instances are assigned to a specific availability zone, they provide a capacity reservation, giving you additional confidence in your ability to launch instances when you need them. For applications that have predictable usage, reserved instances can provide significant savings compared to on-demand instances. Reserved instances are recommended for applications with steady-state usage, applications that require reserved capacity, customers who can commit to using EC2 over a 1 or 3 year term to reduce their total computing costs. Dedicated hosts. A dedicated host is a physical EC2 server dedicated for your use. Dedicated hosts can help you reduce costs by allowing you to use your existing server-bound software licenses, including Windows Server, SQL Server, and SUSE Linux Enterprise Server, subject to your license terms. They can also help you meet compliance requirements. Per second billing. When Amazon EC2 was launched, the ability to use an instance for an hour and to pay only for that hour was big news. Today, many customers use Amazon EC2 to do a lot of work in a short time, sometimes minutes or even seconds. Per second billing for usage of Linux instances across on-demand, reserved, and spot instances. Similarly, provisioned storage for EBS volumes is billed in 1 second increments. Per second billing saves money. It is particularly effective for resources that have periods of low and high usage such as development and testing, data processing, analytics, batch processing, and gaming applications. Estimating Amazon EC2 costs. To estimate the cost of using Amazon EC2, consider the following: clock hours of server time, instance type, pricing model, number of instances, load balancing, detailed monitoring, auto-scaling, elastic IP addresses, operating systems, and software packages. How Amazon S3 is priced. Storage class. Standard storage is designed to provide 99.999999999% durability and 99.99% availability. Standard Infrequent Access or SIA is a storage option within Amazon S3. You can reduce your costs by storing less frequently accessed data at slightly lower levels of redundancy than the standard Amazon S3 storage. You can also use Amazon S3 Glacier storage for archiving data at very low costs. Storage. Costs vary with number and size of objects stored in your Amazon S3 buckets as well as type of storage. Requests. The number and type of requests. GET requests incur charges at different rates than other requests such as put and copy requests. Data transfer. The amount of data transferred out of the Amazon S3 region. How Amazon EBS is priced. Volumes. Volume storage for all EBS volume types is charged by the amount of GB you provision per month until you release the storage. Snapshots. Snapshot storage is based on the amount of space your data consumes in Amazon S3. Because Amazon EBS does not save empty blocks, it is likely that the snapshot size will be considerably less than your volume size. Standard EBS snapshot charges apply for storage in the destination region. Data transfer. Considering the amount of data transferred out of your application, inbound data transfer is free and outbound data transfer charges are tiered. How Amazon RDS is priced. Clock hours of server time. Resources incur charges when they are running. For example, from the time you launch a DB instance until you terminate it. Database characteristics. The physical capacity of the database you choose will affect how much you are charged. Database characteristics vary depending on the database engine, size, and memory class. Database purchase type. When you use OnDemand DB instances, you pay for compute capacity for each hour your DB instance runs with no required minimum commitments. With reserved DB instances, you can make a low one-time upfront payment for each DB instance you wish to reserve for a 1 or 3 year term. Number of database instances. With Amazon RDS, you can provision multiple DB instances to handle peak loads. Provisioned storage. There is no additional charge for backup storage of up to 100% of your provisioned database storage for an active DB instance. After the DB instance is terminated, backup storage is billed per GB per month. Additional storage. The amount of backup storage in addition to the provisioned storage amount is billed per GB per month. Requests. The number of input and output requests to the database. Deployment type. You can deploy your DB instance to a single availability zone or multiple availability zones. Storage and input-output charges vary depending on the number of availability zones you deploy to. Data transfer. Inbound data transfer is free and outbound data transfer costs are tiered. Amazon CloudFront pricing. Amazon CloudFront charges are based on the data transfers and requests used to deliver content to your customers. There are no upfront payments or fixed platform fees, no long-term commitments, no premiums for dynamic content, and no requirements for professional services to get started. There is no charge for data transferred from AWS services such as Amazon S3 or Elastic Load Balancing. And best of all, you can get started with CloudFront for free. Estimation of CloudFront pricing is based on traffic distribution. Data transfer and request pricing varies across geographic regions, and pricing is based on the edge location through which your content is served. Requests. The number and type of requests, HTTP or HTTPS, made, and the geographic region in which the requests are made. Data transfer out. The amount of data transferred out of your Amazon CloudFront edge locations. This brings us to the end of this video. Summary. In this video, we have covered the following topics: pricing details of EC2, pricing details of S3, pricing details of EBS, pricing details of RDS, pricing details of CloudFront. In the next video, we will learn about the AWS Trusted Advisor.